Welcome to the Self-Actualized Podcast, where we explore the journeys, insights, and breakthroughs that lead to personal growth and success. I'm your host, Anmol Das, and I'm excited to introduce our series of book reviews, where I uncover the secret to success through the power of books. In each episode of this series, I dive into a new book, sharing valuable lessons on resilience, transformation, and achieving your highest potential. So let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, Anmol Das here, sales leader and voracious reader. And since I love to read, I thought I would do another book review. So today's book is Abraham Lincoln, Team of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin, Part 2. So a couple weeks ago, I came at you with part 1 of this review, where we dove into Abraham Lincoln's ability to work with his fiercest rivals. So today we're going to examine another key aspect of Lincoln's leadership, namely his great ambition. See, ever since Lincoln was young, he always wanted to do something so great with his life that he would be long remembered for it, even after his death. It was this ambition that really drove Lincoln throughout his life. It was this ambition that made Lincoln constantly want to educate himself and better himself. It was this ambition that helped Lincoln overcome the string of political failures that plagued him later on in his career. And it's also what helped him endure some of the deepest and darkest moments of the Civil War. But there's one key story from this book that really summarizes Lincoln's legacy. See, the story takes place about 50 years after Lincoln's death, so at the turn of the 20th century. During this time, the great Russian writer, Leo Tolstoy, goes and visits this remote part of Russia, so this region in the Caucasus, and there's this tribe of barbarians that lives there that's completely cut off from the rest of the world. So Tolstoy goes and visits them, and they ask Tolstoy to tell them about some of the greatest leaders in history. So Tolstoy does this. He tells them about Napoleon, about Alexander the Great, Frederick the Great, and this tribe, they just love it. And as Tolstoy goes to leave, the leader of the tribe goes up to him and says, this has all been terrific, but honestly, you haven't told us about the greatest leader of them all. You haven't told us about the man that spoke with the voice of thunder, that laughed like the sunrise. He came from that faraway place called America, a land so far away that if a young man left here to go visit, he would be an old man by the time he arrived. You haven't told us about Abraham Lincoln. Tolstoy was floored. This was such a remote region, and this tribe was so cut off from the rest of the world. How on earth had they heard about Lincoln? So what made Abraham Lincoln so great anyway? Well, if I had to summarize it, it would be A, his great ambition, his desire to constantly improve and constantly better himself. B, it's his ability to work with everybody, even his fiercest rivals. And C, it was the moral fiber of his being, his great integrity and his great character. So I think those are the things that made Lincoln great, and that's why we're still talking about him today, almost 200 years after his death. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed that book review. Remember, this is all about getting just a little bit better, getting just 1% better each and every day. So I'll be back in a couple weeks with another review. Until then, happy reading, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. And remember, if you're ready to take your self-development to the next level, check out selfactualize.ai, where you can get personalized AI-powered coaching from world-class coaches and authors. Tune in next week, and we'll talk to you soon. Until then, keep growing and reaching for your potential.